This is a classic British countryside romance film, adapted from a world-famous literary masterpiece. Against a picturesque pastoral backdrop, it tells the emotional entanglement between one woman and three men. The story takes place in 1870, in a small rural village 200 miles from London. The place is as beautiful as an oil painting, but the heroine has a rather unusual name, Bathsheba. She is young and beautiful, but because she lost both parents as a child, she has long been used to being independent and strong. She likes wearing red and galloping on horseback across the wide grasslands. This bold and spirited scene catches Gabriel's attention. The next day, Gabriel uses the excuse of returning the scarf Bathsheba left in the woods to strike up a conversation with her. His honest and simple manner makes Bathsheba unable to hold back a smile. Gabriel is a neighboring farmer, while Bathsheba works on her aunt's farm. In this secluded paradise far from crowds, they rely on their own hard work and enjoy the pleasures of life. As they gradually spend time together, a subtle feeling grows between the two young people, especially for Gabriel. Once he is sure that he has fallen for Bathsheba, he immediately carries a newborn lamb to propose to her, promising to give her a rich and peaceful life. Who would have thought that after hearing this, Bathsheba would reject Gabriel without hesitation? Gabriel has never proposed before, and now that he is firmly rejected, he is at a loss and can only hurriedly say goodbye and leave. But Bathsheba comes running after him from behind. She explains that it is not that she does not want to marry him, only that she has never seriously thought about it. Besides, what she likes is a man who can tame her, and Gabriel is too traditional. As time goes on, Gabriel will only hate her independence more and more, but Gabriel says his love is firm and will never change. After that, he turns and leaves. Unexpectedly, that night changes both of their fates. While Gabriel is sleeping at home, the sheepdog in the yard suddenly goes mad. It growls and barks wildly at the flock. Awakened by the noise, Gabriel quickly comes out to check, only to find that the sheep have already disappeared. Sensing that something is wrong, he immediately goes out to search, but in the end, he sees the flock at the edge of a cliff, one sheep after another jumping down. In that moment, all his hopes are destroyed. On the verge of collapse, he vents all his anger on the little dog. After that, now poor and ruined, he carries his luggage and leaves the small mountain village. Bathsheba also receives a letter that day. Her uncle has passed away and left all his property to her. Bathsheba becomes wealthy overnight. Full of excitement, she dresses in red and drives a carriage to inherit the property. Meanwhile, Gabriel wanders aimlessly. He sees people recruiting soldiers by the roadside and stops for a moment. At that moment, a girl suggests that if he needs work, he can try a nearby farm, where they urgently need help. Gabriel follows the directions and discovers that the farm is burning in a great fire. Seeing the flames spreading badly and no one leading the effort, Gabriel steps forward and leads everyone in saving the granary. The fire is not brought under control until morning, and only then does the farm owner finally arrive. But to Gabriel's surprise, the farm owner is Bathsheba. When they meet again, their positions have changed dramatically. Bathsheba now owns a farm and a house, and material wealth gives her much more confidence. Although she sympathizes with what happened to Gabriel, the change in their status may embarrass him, so she does not know how to place him. Unexpectedly, Gabriel does not mind at all and says that being able to work here is already enough for him. After returning, Bathsheba immediately dismisses the farm manager and puts the sheep under Gabriel's care. Then she states that from now on, she will personally manage the farm. Although she does not know how far her abilities can take the farm, she will do her very best to make the place completely new. For a woman of that era to have such courage makes Gabriel admire her deeply. From then on, he buries his love deep in his heart and silently protects Bathsheba. The trading hall is usually a man's territory, but on this day, Bathsheba walks in with her servant, head held high. This bold behavior catches the attention of a man. At this moment, he does not think such a woman has any real ability. Unexpectedly, Bathsheba takes the initiative, promotes her grain, and looks for business opportunities. When she completes her first deal, the man also walks up to the stall. Later, the servant tells Bathsheba that this man is Mr. William, a neighboring farmer. He is handsome and wealthy, and many women around him are fascinated by him. It is said that he was once abandoned by a woman when he was young, so now he is quiet and somewhat aloof. The servant asks Bathsheba whether she has ever been abandoned. Bathsheba becomes very worked up. How could someone as proud as her ever be abandoned? Not long ago, she even rejected a man's proposal. The servant is curious and asks whether she did not love that man. Bathsheba says she is waiting for someone who can tame her. One day, Mr. William suddenly appears before Bathsheba. Serious-faced and unsmiling, Bathsheba greets him warmly, but William says very little. His lofty attitude leaves her rather speechless, so when she gets the chance to tease Mr. William, Bathsheba does it without hesitation. She sends William a card with a line of romantic words written on it. After reading it, William's expression grows solemn. He has not felt his heart stirred in a long time, but this teasing makes his heart restless again. At the exchange last time, William had already seen how different Bathsheba was, and in daily life, Bathsheba personally handles the farm's work herself. Seeing her busy alongside the workers only deepens William's admiration for her, so he invites Bathsheba to his home and shows her his wealth. William has farmland, orchards, livestock, and a luxurious house. The interior is beautifully furnished, but it lacks a mistress. William believes these things are enough to move Bathsheba, so he nervously proposes to her. Unexpectedly, Bathsheba rejects him directly. This leaves William completely confused. He takes out the card and asks what the romantic words on it meant. Bathsheba explains that it was only an impulsive act at the time, not her true feeling, but William still insists on expressing his heart. He says that although he is older, he will take good care of her and protect her, far better than young men her own age. She will have a wealthy and comfortable life. After hearing this, Bathsheba gently says that she already has all of that and does not need a husband. William is deeply disappointed and blames himself for being too rash. After Bathsheba returns to the farm, she immediately finds Gabriel and asks for his opinion. Unexpectedly, Gabriel criticizes Bathsheba, saying she should not have made such a joke. Tempting someone you do not love is a mean thing to do, and shameful too. These words make Bathsheba very angry. She does not allow a man like him to criticize how she behaves, so she immediately dismisses Gabriel and tells him to find work elsewhere. Gabriel does not indulge this young lady's temper either. Early the next morning, he carries his luggage and leaves, but an accident happens on the farm. The entire flock of sheep has fallen ill. If they are not treated in time, the farm will suffer a major loss. Everyone is helpless, and the only person who can save the sheep is Gabriel. With no other choice, Bathsheba rides after Gabriel, who is resting by the roadside. She sincerely apologizes and hopes Gabriel will return to the farm to work and save the lambs. Gabriel has also suffered losses before, so naturally he does not hold it against her too much. And although Bathsheba is proud and unruly, she knows what matters most. How could she let the farm suffer because of her own willfulness? At the dinner the next day, Bathsheba and the workers gather happily together. William also hears about it and comes over as a guest. During the evening, Bathsheba sings a song. Her beautiful voice and graceful playing fill Gabriel's eyes with love. William is even more overwhelmed with emotion. He sings along, feeling that Bathsheba is the love he has been waiting for. So when he leaves, he shows his affection to Bathsheba once again. Unfortunately, Bathsheba still turns him down. That night, Bathsheba meets a man in the woods who makes her heart race. In the dim candlelight, the man is captivated by Bathsheba's stunning beauty. He praises her without holding back, saying she is the most beautiful woman he has ever seen. Perhaps words like these are always especially useful on women. Bathsheba appears calm on the surface, but in truth, waves begin crashing inside her heart, and the man's desire to pursue her becomes even more urgent. He works on the farm and tries hard to perform well. Bathsheba does not understand his intention, so she calls him aside, preparing to send him away. But before she can speak, the man makes the first move. He behaves intimately and speaks sweet words, instantly teasing Bathsheba until she cannot hide her smile. The man takes the opportunity to invite her to meet him in the woods tomorrow. His frivolous manner, handsome face, and eyes full of desire throw Bathsheba's heart into disorder. She hesitates for a while after returning, then dresses beautifully the next day and comes to the appointment. Deep in the woods, the man wears a red military uniform, standing straight and tall. The moment their eyes meet, love has already taken root and begun to grow. Bathsheba slowly walks toward him. The man performs a clean and sharp sword routine, then cuts off a lock of Bathsheba's hair. While she is still confused, the man steps forward and kisses her. Her first kiss is gone, and her heart flies away with it. Is this the so-called man who can tame her? Bathsheba has finally found the love she wants. She is full of joy, but Gabriel is deeply worried. He finds Bathsheba and urges her not to be deceived by sweet words, because as far as he knows, not long ago this man was waiting in a church to marry another bride. For him to act this way now is truly unconscionable. But Bathsheba says the man is an honorable person. Faced with Gabriel's advice, she even says that it is none of his business. Gabriel knows his place very well. The two of them now have such different positions that he knows he has no chance, but he will not resign himself to a mediocre life either, and one day he will leave. But for now, while he is still here and still loves Bathsheba, he cannot stand by and watch her be ruined by a man. Yet these words do not move Bathsheba, and instead make her more determined. She writes a letter to William, clearly rejecting his proposal. Then she takes her luggage and goes to town to find that man. The man's name is Troy. From then on, Bathsheba becomes Mrs. Troy. After the two officially get together, they are inseparable every day, living happily and carefree. Gabriel watches from afar and can only sigh helplessly. One day, Bathsheba and Troy hold a lively wedding party in the barn. Meanwhile, Gabriel sees lightning flashing in the yard, and from experience, he concludes that a heavy storm is coming soon. So he goes inside to report it and asks Bathsheba to assign several people to help cover the crops with tarpaulins. Otherwise, the harvest will be ruined. But now Troy is the master of the farm. He does not listen to Gabriel's advice and confidently insists that it will not rain at all. Gabriel says nothing more and turns away. Troy brings out whole boxes of liquor, ready to drink with everyone until they are completely drunk. At this moment, looking at her husband, who does not care about the farm at all, Bathsheba finally understands that perhaps she chose wrong. Seeing that the heavy storm is about to strike, Gabriel saves the grain alone. When Bathsheba sees this, she immediately changes out of her gown and rushes over to fight beside him. Through the efforts of the two of them, the grain is saved, and a smile appears on Bathsheba's face. Perhaps only Gabriel truly understands what she cares about most. As for her husband, now she feels only disappointment. Bathsheba has always looked down on girls who lose their heads over a man's sweet words, but she never expected that she would become one of them. She knows she made a mistake, but right now, she does not want to hear a single word from Gabriel. She does not allow others to criticize her. This time, Gabriel says nothing more and continues working hard as usual. After the storm, William appears at the farm gate. It is difficult for a woman to run a farm alone, but fortunately she has someone as loyal as Gabriel. Seeing that Bathsheba has not suffered any loss, he finally feels relieved, but his face looks very poor. Gabriel asks what is wrong. William says he is deeply saddened. Although Bathsheba never made him a promise and cannot really be said to have abandoned him, he simply cannot understand it and feels extreme sorrow. Why is he inferior to Troy, unable to win Bathsheba's heart? The answer to this question is actually very simple. Women always need to grow through love, and love is always so inexplicable. After marriage, Troy slowly reveals his true nature. He does nothing useful and does not care about running the farm. Every day, he either swings swords in the yard or goes out seeking pleasure. One day, he runs into his former lover Fanny on the street. When the two meet again, his eyes are full of surprise and tenderness. Fanny tells him that she is pregnant with his child and is about to give birth. She explains that she misheard the name of the church, which is why she did not arrive on time. She hopes Troy will not be angry. It turns out that when Troy did not see Fanny at the church back then, he thought she had changed her mind and left in anger. Now Troy is already married and has a wife, but he still loves Fanny and desperately wants to make up for this mistake. So he tells Fanny to stay at the poorhouse for one night first. He will go back to get money, then find her a home and properly make it up to her. Bathsheba is already utterly disappointed in Troy. When Troy asks for money, Bathsheba refuses outright. She says that because Troy spends recklessly, the money left at home is only enough to keep the farm running. After hearing this, Troy leaves home in anger. He goes to the place where he agreed to meet Fanny, only to see a carriage carrying a coffin heading toward the farm. Little does he know, inside is Fanny, who has died unexpectedly after premature labor. Because she used to be a servant of Bathsheba's uncle, she is sent here. Bathsheba is kind and generous. She prepares to bury Fanny properly, but then hears rumors involving her husband Troy. To verify her suspicion, she sends the servants away and opens the coffin alone. The woman and baby before her leave her deeply shocked. At that moment, Troy also returns. When he enters and sees his lover and his own child, he ignores all attempts to stop him and steps forward to kiss them. In this moment, Troy's heart is in agony. He sorrowfully tells Bathsheba that although Fanny is dead now, whether in the past, present, or future, she is more important than Bathsheba. To Troy, Bathsheba means nothing. Those words, means nothing, completely destroy Bathsheba's pride. The next day, Troy leaves the farm with the coffin. He goes to the seaside and attempts to end his life. Not long after, Bathsheba is told that Troy is drowned, because villagers found Troy's clothes by the sea. After Bathsheba's grief, the farm returns to its former peace. Gabriel still remains by Bathsheba's side, and William is still devoted to Bathsheba. He knows that Troy left Bathsheba with a large amount of debt, so he says that as long as Bathsheba is willing, he will repay all of it. He will take responsibility for all Bathsheba's expenses, allowing her to run the farm carefree as a pastime. William very much wants to become Bathsheba's safe harbor, so he sincerely proposes to her once again, humbly saying that he does not mind if Bathsheba does not love him. Faced with such honesty, Bathsheba does not rush to refuse again. Her love is now broken and wounded, but William's entire future is in her hands. She wants to know what Gabriel thinks, but Gabriel says she is asking the wrong person. Christmas arrives, and William busies himself at home preparing a banquet. He invites Gabriel to come help, while his own hands tremble with nerves. He believes Bathsheba will make the right decision, but still cannot help asking Gabriel what he thinks her answer will be. Gabriel says he is asking the wrong person. In truth, William has long known that Gabriel loves Bathsheba, but because of Gabriel's kindness and mercy, William has this chance. He takes out the diamond ring and expresses his gratitude to Gabriel. The banquet officially begins, and Bathsheba arrives as promised. All three of them were smiles, but their hearts carry different feelings. Gabriel tactfully wants to leave early, but William, like a gentleman, insists that he and Bathsheba share a dance. This is the first time the two have looked at each other so closely and so tenderly. Bathsheba once again asks Gabriel for his opinion. Gabriel says she should make the choice she believes is right. That is clearly not what Bathsheba wants to hear. She is somewhat disappointed and leaves the table angrily, but unexpectedly, she sees Troy's figure in the courtyard. He is still wearing his red military uniform, but now he looks utterly ruined and decadent. Bathsheba is shocked and asks him what happened. Troy explains that he was rescued by fishermen. This time, he has returned to take back everything that belongs to him. The more he speaks, the more deranged he becomes. He blames everything he has suffered on Bathsheba. He wants revenge on her. In the violent struggle, a gunshot rings out. Troy is shot dead. Today is the closest William has ever come to success. How could he bear to watch the woman he loves suffer? And how could he not impulsively kill that hateful man? His love has been suppressed for too long. The moment it is released, it is destined to end in tragedy. Afterward, Gabriel goes to the bedroom to check and discovers that William has already prepared everything for the wedding. Everything is signed with the name Bathsheba William, but the ending turns out to be so heartbreaking. Fortunately, William is not sentenced to death, but to life imprisonment. In the blink of an eye, spring returns, flowers bloom, and harvest season comes again. Watching the workers busy on the farm, Bathsheba feels deeply comforted. After everything she has been through, life can finally settle down. But Gabriel is about to resign and leave. Now that the farm is running steadily, he wants to go to America to develop his future. Bathsheba is surprised, but still agrees to let him go. That night, Bathsheba thinks about many things. She tosses and turns all night, only then realizing that she has long been unable to live without Gabriel. She knows that this is love, the love she truly wants, so she does not hesitate. She puts on the red dress she wore when they first met and rides after Gabriel. She does not understand why Gabriel insists on leaving. After everything they have been through, when so many people doubted her, only Gabriel always stood firmly by her side. She finally understands that she is the one who cannot live without Gabriel, and Gabriel's love has never diminished. If Gabriel knew that Bathsheba was willing to let him love her and willing to let him marry her, how could he possibly leave? Bathsheba says, "Why does Gabriel not ask again? Try again, propose to her, marry her, take her home, and spend the rest of his life with her." After so many setbacks, they finally come together. After going around in circles for so long, they finally discover that the other person was the right one all along. Luckily, Gabriel never gave up. Luckily, Bathsheba learned to turn back. The two lead their horses and walk on the road home. What a beautiful scene this is. Why must women always meet the wrong men before they learn to grow? Bathsheba meets three men in her life. One is wealthy and gentlemanly, respecting her deeply. One is frivolous and wild, self-indulgent and ruined. Only Gabriel shares both hardship and happiness with her. He makes her understand that the longest confession of love is companionship, and he also lets her gain a sincere love far from the madding crowd.